This is the era of startups. There is a startup for everything. For every idea that you can think about, there is a startup. There are people around you who are starting up. There are students from elite colleges, from all kinds of colleges, from all walks of life, whether educated or not. They are doing startups. They are going in for startups. A lot of times, I feel young people, and I see young people who are choosing startups over jobs. There are many colleagues sometimes who lose their jobs, who quit their jobs, who just one day decide that they want to do a startup, or they announce that they're going to do a startup, or they're going to do their own business. And in this particular environment, sometimes it's very easy to get tempted and to get a little pressurized into this whole startup game. So friends, what is this startup game? What is entrepreneurship? What does it mean to be a business person? And whether a job is better than being an entrepreneur, or whether being an entrepreneur or having your own business is better than being a job, that is going to be the focus of today's video. Friends, I have been a corporate person. I have worked in the corporate industry for a few years. I have had an experience of 2 startups which I ran for over 15 years. I have been a coach and a facilitator for many years, having my own business and as an independent consultant. So I have some experience in entrepreneurship. And I'll be happy to share that experience with you today. So friends, let's dive straight into it. And there I will reference a person from one of my coaching sessions. Let's call this person Harish, just an assumed name for purpose of illustration of what I want to talk about today. So Harish came to me and he seemed very frustrated with his manager and said, my manager is this, my manager is that, my manager is a very bad person, my manager persecutes me, does all kinds of bad things to me professionally. And he was venting a lot about his manager, and he kept on talking. And this was a theme which was recurring throughout our coaching sessions. So session 1, session 2, session 3, he kept on talking and venting about his manager. When finally, by asking him coaching questions and through the process of coaching, I made him realize and focus on actually what is it that was bothering him. So I asked him a simple question. I said, Harish, what is bothering you? Can you tell me in a few words what exactly is on your mind? And Harish said, my manager. I said, see, you have spoken a lot about your manager, but these feelings about your manager, have this come up recently, or is it something that you have been experiencing over a period of time? And he thought about it. So he said, Prashant, I have started thinking about my manager and all these negative things my manager does to me very recently. Why? Because 2 of my friends have quit their jobs because of bad managers and started their own business. So, and how does that make you feel? I asked him. He said, actually, I feel that if I had my own business, I would do really well. Can you elaborate on that? I asked him. He said, in my own business, I will not be answerable to anybody. Answerable or accountable? I asked him. Think about it. He thought a lot about it, and he looked at me and he said, Prashant, I think I understand your question. Am I thinking about entrepreneurship because I don't want to be answerable to somebody? Or am I trying to run away from my job deliverables by looking at doing business as an outlet? I said, I can't answer that. You have to answer this for yourself. What do you think? And then we decide, and we discussed, and we decided on an action plan for him. And I told him 3 tips when dealing with this particular dilemma. So friends, 3 tips for comparing job with entrepreneurship. Number 1, don't compare job with entrepreneurship per se. Number 2, are you willing to put in the same amount of energy, enthusiasm and effort into your own business as you do for your own work? If yes, multiply it 100 times. And number 3, friends, are your personal stakeholders on board? Are they with you? Do you have their support? Let's discuss each of these in some detail, and I'll share some experience with you as well. Okay. Number 1, comparing a job where you literally go from apartment to department, where you punch in, punch out. You have one punch, one lunch, and then one punch again, right? Comparing that particular situation to a business where there are no fixed timings, where you're doing this on a 24/7 basis, where you're doing this all the time, friends, where you are 100% accountable for even a person who's sitting in your room, who's assisting you or working with you, their tea, has that their tea come on time or not? That is also your responsibility. At work, you can just show up and you can ask for tea, and you have the coffee machine and you have these facilities, and you go to work and you come back and maybe you hang out with friends in the evening. In your business, friends, there will be no such luxury, at least not in the initial years of your business. You will be required to make sacrifices. You will need to go without tea when everybody else in your office who report to you, who are working with you, they are having their tea. Are you willing to do that, friends? Apples and oranges cannot be compared, friends. Both have their pros, both have their cons. Right? The deliveries, deadlines, and deliverables are the same in job and in entrepreneurship, except that in entrepreneurship, these are magnified 100 times. The delivery times are shorter, the deadlines are stronger, the delays are something that might affect you really negatively. You need to be physically and mentally, friends, strong to be an entrepreneur. Do you have it in you? I'm not discouraging you. If the answer to my question is yes, go ahead and do it. But if you have even 1% doubt that perhaps this kind of dedication in business is not for me, then maybe you need to rethink your job. Okay? Many times we leave our jobs because we don't get along with the manager. We don't like the client. We don't like the work. I'm getting bored. Those are absolutely the wrong reasons to start your own business, friends. You start your own business because you have an idea which you want to back with your money, your time, your life. And that idea is the best idea in the world, friends. Nobody else can execute that idea better than you. That is the reason why you should have your own business. Not because you don't get along with your boss. There is no guarantee that if you leave your job and you start a business, that your clients are going to be less forgiving. There is no guarantee of that. Clients are tough. Clients want 100% job because they're paying you money for it, friends. The question to ask yourself, is somebody willing to pay you 10 rupees? 10 rupees, friends. 10 rupees for your product, your idea. If yes, now are they going to be 1 lakh or 100,000 such people? This is what you need to be asking yourself. Right, friends? So, comparing a job per se to an entrepreneurship where you feel that you probably have the same kind of work, the same kind of life, the same kind of hours, that is not the right comparison, friends. I'm warning you against that. A job is much easier many times as compared to having your own business. That is not to say that having your own business is always a bed of roses or really hard. And that is not to say that jobs are not hard. We work a lot, we do a lot, we add a lot of value to our jobs. You can create the same value even better. You want to leave an impact on others, on life, on your environment, on society. You can do it as well in your job. And people are doing it. Look around you at all the professionals who are there. The people that we admire in corporate life. It could be somebody that you're working with. Look at them. How inspiring they have been being in jobs. So it's not just the fact that, friends, if you leave your job, that you will be able to make a better impact in business. That is again a flawed argument. So both cannot be compared per se. So friends, I was talking about the 3 E's: effort, energy, enthusiasm. All 3 are required for job success and for entrepreneurship success. The only difference is in entrepreneurship success, in business success, the effort, energy, enthusiasm needs to be magnified 100 times. If you feel that you have run out of gas, your body cannot take any more stress or tension, you will probably need to do 4 more months of that, even before you reach a minimal viable product or an MVP. Right? So, financial savings, life's savings, your time, your energy, friends, it's never going to come back. You have to choose that effort carefully. Okay? Only if you are convinced that that effort is worth it, do go for an entrepreneurship. And the third, friends, is your family on board. Are your professional and your personal stakeholders aligned with you? I'm talking in this case more for our personal stakeholders. Your family, your spouse, your children, your siblings, your parents, your well-wishers in your family. Are they on board? Do you have their approval, their assent? Hiding things from your partner or your spouse or your family and then quitting your job and doing an entrepreneurship, friends, is foolhardy. Do not do it. I will not recommend it to anybody. If you are taking such a big decision, remember, friends, it affects not only you, it affects the lives of many other people who are depending upon you. Choose carefully. Don't do things in a hurry or don't be rash with your life's decisions. There are people who are banking upon you, they are relying upon you for many things, not just for money, for emotional support, and of course financial support. This money and this financial support might get compromised because you have invested that money in your own work and there is no guarantee of return. So choose carefully, friends. Your family needs to be able to support you. With their support, you will find yourself mentally at peace also. You will find yourself performing better. You'll find yourself making life's decisions better. Right? So family support is really important. Friends, there are no easy answers here. Job versus entrepreneurship. I have done both in my life. I made a mistake earlier on in my career, quitting my job without having a safety net, diving straight into entrepreneurship. I will not recommend it to anybody. If you have an idea, a business idea, get started. No, I'm not saying there should be any conflict of interest with your work or your jobs. Your business idea should be totally different to your jobs. In fact, you might have signed a contract or an employment contract that says you cannot have a side business. In that case, do not do anything illegal. But get started on your idea in many ways. Prepare a business plan, get a team ready, you do the homework in the background. And one day when you're convinced that that idea is the idea for you and it will not take you much time to get started, that is the day you should leave your job. Right? Till then, stay employed, friends. Job versus entrepreneurship, easy decision. I would recommend to everybody, stay on a job, work, learn. There is so much to learn and so much to gain, not just from the companies that you work with, but from the people that you work with. Absorb the best practices of people around you. Notice what people are not doing right. Don't repeat those same mistakes in your own job. But now when you observe best practices of people that you work with, you should be able to use it in your own business when that day comes. So friends, job versus entrepreneurship, choose carefully. How did you like this video? Like, subscribe and share, friends, on the links given below. I would love to hear from you. Look forward to seeing you again. Take care.